You finally save up for that designer bag you've been thinking about for months, maybe even years. You walk into the store, the lighting feels intentional, everything's quiet, almost museum-like. You buy it, walk out feeling like you just stepped into a different level of life. And then, later that night, you're scrolling and you come across something that doesn't quite fit that feeling. A video, a warehouse, rows and rows of the same bags, identical, brand new. And then they're being cut, slashed, some burned, some crushed. Not damaged, not defective, just destroyed. And it kind of messes with your head. Because now you're thinking, wait, if there are this many sitting in a warehouse, why did it feel so rare in the store? Why did it feel like I was lucky to even get one? Here's what I find fascinating about this. The destruction isn't the shocking part. The reason behind it is. Luxury brands don't destroy unsold inventory because they hate waste. It's not emotional. It's not accidental. It's strategic. What I realized after seeing this pattern is that the real product isn't just the bag or the watch or the coat. It's the feeling that not everyone can have it. And the moment too many people can have it, that feeling starts to collapse. So instead of letting that happen, they remove the evidence. They keep the illusion clean. Think about it like this. It's like a restaurant at the end of the night with trays of perfectly good food left over. Nothing wrong with it, still fresh. But instead of donating it or even letting staff take it home, they throw it out. Or worse, they burn it. Not because they have to, but because if people saw just how much extra food there was, tomorrow's $80 entree wouldn't feel as special anymore. That's the uncomfortable part. The value isn't just in the product, it's in controlling how much of it you're allowed to see. So why does this work so well on us? Let's unpack that. Our brains are wired to treat scarcity as a signal of value. If something is hard to get, we assume it must be worth more. Not always logically, but instinctively. I've caught myself doing this. You see, limited availability, only a few left, and suddenly your decision speeds up. You don't want to miss out. Now take that instinct and scale it up to a global level. If a brand allows excess inventory to leak into the market through discounts, outlets, or donations, that signal breaks. The product stops feeling rare. And once that happens, the entire pricing structure becomes harder to justify. So instead of lowering the price, they remove the supply. Quietly. No announcements, no marketing campaign. Just disappearance. And once you start noticing this, you see it everywhere. Leaked videos, whistleblower stories, year after year. Handbags being shredded, watches smashed, coats burned. Not one brand, not one incident, a pattern. Perfectly usable products worth billions collectively being destroyed instead of discounted or donated. And here's the part that stuck with me. It's not about whether they could sell them cheaper. It's about making sure you never see them sold cheaper. Because the moment you do, the entire perception shifts. That exclusive item becomes just another product. So what do you do with this as a buyer? Because it's easy to feel frustrated, but that doesn't really help in the moment you're standing there considering a purchase. Here's the simple mental check I've started using. When you're tempted by something in that luxury space, pause for a second and ask yourself, is this price really about craftsmanship, or is it about how rare the brand is making it feel to me? Just that question. You don't even need to answer it perfectly. The act of asking it slows everything down. It breaks that automatic, this must be worth it reaction. And sometimes you'll still decide it's worth it. That's fine. But now it's your decision, not just the environment guiding you there. Now, if you're on the other side of this, maybe you run a business or you're thinking about building a brand, there's something important here too. Scarcity itself isn't the problem. In fact, when it's done honestly, it can actually make a product feel more meaningful. A transparent approach would look very different. Instead of overproducing and then destroying what doesn't sell, you limit production from the start. You say, only 500 made, ever. And you mean it. No hidden warehouses, no silent disposal later. Just clear, upfront boundaries. That kind of honesty still creates that premium feeling, but without the waste and without the manipulation behind the scenes. In my view, that's where the line starts to show up. Creating desire through real craftsmanship, thoughtful design, and genuine rarity, that's clever. It respects the customer's decision. But deliberately destroying usable products just to protect a perception, that feels different. That crosses into something else. Because now you're not just shaping demand, you're hiding reality to maintain it. And there's a cost to that, not just financially, but environmentally and ethically too. So the next time you see a luxury ad talking about exclusivity or limited availability, just pause for a second and think about what might not be shown, what might be sitting somewhere else, out of sight. Because once you start noticing that gap between what's presented and what's controlled behind the scenes, it changes how you see the entire system. And honestly, that awareness alone gives you a lot more power as a buyer. Next time you come across one of these stories, I'm curious what stands out to you the most. What's the most ridiculous example of luxury destruction you've heard? I'll start. The one where they burned tens of millions worth of unsold clothes. Still hard to wrap my head around that one. Drop yours in the comments. And if you want more of these behind-the-curtain pricing patterns broken down in a way that actually helps you think clearer while you're spending, you can subscribe. Because once you see these patterns, you don't really unsee them. See you soon.